Hey traders, long-term view. What is the big picture really saying for our markets? Let's go straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is the most hardest thing you will ever do, and it takes a long time to become a good trader. So this video is just educational only. If you're struggling with your trading right now, then click on the very first link in the description. We're going to learn a free training, the 7 universal laws to become a master trader that will boost your success, consistency, and confidence without spending a decade trying to figure it out. Click on the very first link in the description right now. All right, traders, one thing I want to remind you of, and I want you guys to keep remembering of, is something that my millionaire mentor really taught me a long time ago. And that's the ability to have big picture, small picture, big picture, small picture. And you trade really those charts based on what the charts are saying. But sometimes what I mean is it's important that when we are looking at the market now, this, by the way, I'm looking at keys right now, this keys stock. I was just looking at it. There was no reason why I was looking at it. It was just one of these stocks that I got on my list here. Anyway, so that's the reason why you're there. Anyway, so one thing I want to share with you guys is I want to share with you the ability or the way of when you are trading the markets, okay? And when you are trading and when you are starting to get involved with the markets, there's big picture, small picture. Big picture, the big picture is like the weeklies and the monthlies, right? And the small picture is like the dailies. Daily, there can be a lot of activity. Big picture, weekly, daily, and so on and so forth can really start to, move forward in a big way there. Make sense? Now, one thing I want to share with you, and one thing I want to, just basically share with you is basically when we are looking at the markets, okay? When we're looking at the markets and when we're looking at, viewing the market, sometimes it's important, if you're an investor type of person, it's important to look at the big picture. Now, the best way to look at the big picture for me, if I say I'm looking at the Dow Jones, for example, all right, so this is the Dow Jones here, what's happening right now. We're still hovering below this sort of pennant through here, broke back below, now we're just hovering around here, pretty much nothing day on the markets as I'm doing this recording. But sometimes it's really, really good, really important to go back to that weekly chart, or this chart through here, and to see what's really going on in this market right now, and bring it back from a non-emotional perspective, okay? Non-emotional perspective. And what you want to realize is what goes up really quickly generally comes down pretty quickly as well too. And so what I like to do is sometimes I like to bring up a line chart and then bring up a monthly chart to see what's really going on. And as we can see on this chart here right now, we can see that this market has been vertical. Okay, this market has gone vertical ever since Donald Trump was elected. Now, what does that mean? That means this is a bubble. Okay, whatever goes vertical like that, even Bitcoin did it last year. Okay, so it doesn't matter what market it is, even the property market. If the property market goes vertical like that, it may have a bit of a cooling off period, maybe a bit of a volatile period, but then it retraces it within 6 to 12 months of that bubble happening. Now, as you can see, ever since Donald Trump was elected, which was around the 18,000 mark, we've gone straight up. So that tells me that by looking at this chart through here, that we are likely to see a significant pullback, probably 80 to 90% of this pullback, probably down to 18,000 by the end of this year. So it's important to look at that big picture, small picture. So if I go have a look at, say, even like the Nasdaq, see, a lot of people say, well, John, this is different. This is the fundamentals are good. This is this. And there's all these different people saying, well, all these theories and all these reasons why the market's going to do what it's going to do. You know what I mean? Commitment of traders reports, newsletters, and all these different things. The thing I must say to you guys is that a bubble is a bubble is a bubble. And we can really see it on the chart, right? If you go back and look at any bubble in history, what did it look like? It just went straight up, right? If any bubble in history, go back and look at it, what does it look like? Just go straight up. Overall, that is. Overall. But then, guess what happens? Okay? Now, that it doesn't happen like that straight away, but, we may get a very spike up, we may get a crash down, and a little bit of sideways movement, and then another crash down, and then another crash down. You know what I mean? So generally, that's what it's actually interesting. This is what the S&P and Dow look like right now. But as you can see, if you go back and look at the Nasdaq here in basically from 99 into 2001 Look how high that went. Okay, look how high that went before the market come down. Now, if 2000 was a bubble, then this here is even a bigger bubble because it's gone on further, longer, even sharper and higher. So therefore, that tells me Nasdaq is in a bubble. Now, there's one big problem when you're looking at a bubble. And what is that? You never know when it's going to end. But when it does end, like Bitcoin, right? It comes down pretty quickly. So I'm expecting to see Nasdaq back down towards at least the 5,000 mark before where this overall big bubble here started, and then obviously continue along from there. Man, my nose is bloody itchy right now. Makes sense? So long-term view when it comes to the stock market is definitely a bubble, and this short-term movement on the daily charts, it's like, oh, the market went up today, the market went down today, the market went up today, the market went down today, the market went up today, the market went down today. You know, and trying to pick the individual days is very, 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 very risky, and it's not how professional traders trade the market. My mentor, and I look up to him so much, how he trades the market is he waits and he waits and he waits and he waits, and this is where the whole psychology, right? This is where the whole psychology of trading comes into it. He'll wait and 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 he waits and he waits. And then when he sees the trading opportunity he's been looking for, then he jumps, then he pounces, then he jumps into it. And then boom, 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 away it goes. That's how he does a 90% win-loss ratio. That's how he just does many millions of dollars a year by doing that. Less is more. And I learn so much from him all the time, because even I screw up. You know, it's like that impatience, right? That impatience and that not discipline and all that sort of thing, it's actually stopping you from moving forward, isn't it? It's like, oh. So they're the things we need to work on. So there's a whole bunch of area when it comes to, you know, trade the markets and for you to be able to get ahead in the markets. The first thing is having a system that you believe in, and secondly, it's having all those characteristics, being disciplined to get in when you should, not jumping in early, being patient, waiting for the setup. All these different characteristics build around what we call a master trader. And you know, and I'm thinking about writing a book based on a lot of things that I've really learned over this time around trading, because I don't believe there's a book out there that really breaks it down the way that I think I can break it down for people when it comes to understanding that sort of thing. So anyway, there's a lot of fantastic books out there. Trading in the Zone is one that I really, really like. I really like that in the mindset side of things, but having a coach who trades live every single day, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month he's making. It's really, really good to be able to see that. So anyway, guys, I wanted to share with you guys what is the big picture saying in the stock market right now. And again, even like the S&P 500, the S&P 500 once again is actually even showing a little rally up. Now, if you go back to even like the line chart for the weekly basis, what is the line chart saying even on a weekly basis here right now on the S&P 500? It is saying, what, we had a sharp drop down, and now we're just slowly crawling up, aren't we? Not really much happening. Again, go back to the Dow Jones, and you can see what's been happening with the Dow Jones. This, to me, looks very, very, very weak. And sometimes when you want to clear the picture and see what's really going on with the market, really going on with that stock, have a look at your line chart, because all the line chart is just put the closes on every single day, and that's it. And as you can see, right, by looking at this line chart, look what is actually going on right now here. I shared this with my private clients. I didn't think I was going to share this with you, but I'll share this. I'll share this with you anyway. So again, I was going to share it with you because I normally share this sort of stuff with my private clients. But have a look at what the market's doing right now, and look at the market from a psychology perspective. Okay, not from an emotional perspective or you trying to be right and wrong and all this sort of crap. Forget all that bullshit. All right. Look at this here. Right, market runs up strong. We had strong buyers. What's this here? Weak sellers. Strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers. Okay? So you see how the psychology is what? It is strong buyers, weak sellers, i.e. upward trend. What is happening right now as I speak? And my birds are going crazy outside. Not my birds, but the birds. What is actually going on through here? We had what? We had a strong selling period. Now I'm going to make that red there. Now notice in the psychology of this, right? Psychology is what? Strong sellers. Now what are we getting? We're getting weak buyers. Can you see what I'm saying here, right? Like when you're reading the market for what it is right there, can you see how, boom, something's changed ever since this market dropped. Ever since from this point here, from over here, we were doing what? We're creating strong buyers, weak sellers. Strong buyers, weak sellers. Strong buyers, weak sellers. i.e., buyers are dominant. What is happening right now in the market? Again, forget now this is a weekly chart, weekly line chart. Forget what you think. Look at the market for what it really is. What is it telling us? That the psychology of this upward move ever since 2016, the psychology of the market right now, it has changed. Because you can see it on the chart, right? It's pure. It's forget the emotion, forget the logic, forget the, what you think or fundamentals or any of that bullshit, because it doesn't matter. We see strong sellers, weak buyers. Can you see that? So whenever the market did this, and I learned this early on by trading. It was actually way back, probably about 10 years ago. I was trading Google, and I saw Google do this formation. I'm like, this is really weird. The market's still going up, but we're creating this like a bear flag at the top of a big upward move, and the market can end up coming down. Anyway, so one thing is, right, strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers, weak sellers, strong buyers. Okay, so that's a nice upward move. The market's there stepping up. Then suddenly what happens is what? Then suddenly out of the blue we get a strong, woof. We get a strong selling period, don't we? Get a big strong selling period. It's like, oh, this, and then the first cue to potentially reversing of that trend on that chart. So if it's a weekly chart, it's a weekly reversal. If it's a daily chart, it could be just a short-term reversal, okay? Or a monthly chart, that's a big long-term reversal. So the first clue to say, okay, this might be topping out, the stock market might be topping out, or that stock or whatever you're looking at might be topping out, if the market's still stepping up, is see how the strength in the selling leg, i.e. this leg here, is so much stronger than this one here, this one here, this one here. Make sense? So the sellers are so much more stronger. Again, it's called strength in moves. Now, guess what happens? Now for us to completely change the picture where it switches around, strong buyers, weak sellers, what do we need now? We need to see the buyers to be what? To be weak. And the buyers to do this. Oh, hang on a minute. That's changed. The buyers used to be strong every time. Boom, 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 boom. Look what's happening now. Oh, the buyers are weak. And we're getting strong sellers. Oh. Guess what's likely to happen moving forward now, guys? And as you can see, right, the dynamics from this point here, the dynamics of this market here has changed. And now we're reading the story from what the market is telling us. Strong buyers, weak sellers. Strong buyers, weak sellers. Now, boom. This very first leg here on the downside is what? Very first leg on the downside says that we're getting strong sellers. Oh, that selling leg is so much stronger than the legs we've had in this big upward run. Oh, cool. Second thing, let's see what the buyers do, because generally the buyers, when we do have a sell-off, the buyers come right back in and run it right back up. Let's see what the buyers do. Oh, look at the buyers. The buyers are doing pretty much nothing, right? Little bear flag, so to speak. Huh, that's different. This is different. I'm not saying fundamentally this is different this time and all that bullshit. No, this is different compared to the upward trend we've had. And that's the reason why probability of this happening right now is like 80%. Especially after the market has moved up so high. Now remember what I said about that monthly chart, right? The monthly chart is what? In a big massive bubble. So we're due for at least a good 50 to 60% pullback in this big monthly upward trend. At least, which will bring you back down to around the 20 to 21,000. Can you see what I'm saying here? Can you see what I'm sharing with you is like reading the market for what it's telling you, and you can see what's going on here, and you can see by reading what I call the strength in the moves that's how it's going to help you out. So guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, let me know what you think about this, and you let me know what you think. Are we in a big bubble right now, and if we are, do you think it's going to start to head down based on what I'm sharing with you right now, or do you think you know what, screw that. This market's just going to keep going up. So let me know what you think, guys, and have a great day.